right, hello wine drinking people. Today is October 16th, Saturday, finishing up another great week here at the Wine Watch, and it's time for what I drank yesterday. Well, as you know, Friday, usually not a very busy day in the store, and yesterday just one supplier, but man, one really good one, Mark Diamond from Christopher Cannon Selections. Sorry, he's a New Zealander, I don't know, just the accent just stays with me. He used to work for American Estates Wines and sell Australian wines, but now he's got some great Spanish wines. So this is another wine from Mariano Garcia. This is from his property in Castilla Leon, and some incredible wines here. We had the Terrace just a few weeks ago at our vintage Spanish tasting. A lot of people didn't think that wine was all that at that event. I did. It just was kind of young, even though it was 1999 vintage. Everything else was so much older, but these wines are outstanding. The first wine, which is the Bodegas Mauro. This is their entry-level Vino de la Terra, and 15% Syrah, 85% Tempranillo, big bouquet of black plum, wild strawberry, jam-like fruit on the nose, new leather, 2007, a more feminine style vintage, more floral, and even though this wine was kind of light on the palate and refreshing, still had a lot of spice and a lot going on there. Really nice and excellent wine. The VS, which means Vendemmia Selection, the top Tempranillo, 50% from 70-year-old vines, and the rest from 30-year-old vines, still pretty old. You know, most of the first growers of Bordeaux don't use their vines into their first top-level wines so they get to be 25 years old, so 32 is plenty old in the world of vines. And then Poor Soils, this wine had lovely dark plum and black cherry fruit on the nose, notes of black licorice, spice box, and really exotic with a mix of 80% French and 20% American oak in that, and lots of espresso and brown spices, liqueur-like on the palate, very rich and dense, but still wonderful freshness. Wow. This wine has got an incredibly long finish, and the only problem with the next wine, the Cuvée de Baja, which is $156, is it wasn't that much better than the last one, the VS, man. The VS was most excellent. I gave the Cuvée de Baja most excellent plus, but man, for $100 to $150, there wasn't that big of a step up. But this is a single vineyard wine. The name actually means low cave, which there isn't really a cave here or anything. They only make 8,000 bottles, and you see a picture of these vines. They're really old and decrepit looking, but making some very concentrated and very balanced wine. Just very explosive on the palate. Lots of oak, but lots of fruit and lots of terroir in this wine. Also bitter cocoa and espresso notes here. Wild game. Really killer juice at $150 a bottle. Whew. Should be. All right. Well, we always have happy hour in the store, and Chardonnay Ray, we can count on him pretty much in being here in the consigliere almost every Friday like clockwork, and they walked in the door at about 4 o'clock yesterday, and Shea Ray was sporting a bottle of 1996 Talbott Diamond Tea. Are you kidding me? Wow, this wine still drinking beautifully, lovely peaches and cream, just like the style you get from Monterey, the Santa Lucia Highlands. Wonderful acidity and wonderful minerality. This wine still could go probably another 5 years. Well, I don't know. Drinking at or near its peak for me, my taste right now. And then the Domaine de Courcel, Pommard, Clos d'Epinot 06. Got another great 06. Drinking beautiful now, but Pommard, pretty big wine. This wine's got a lot of black spice to it, and still has some legs ahead of it. Very wonderful balance. One of the great properties in Pommard, Domaine de Courcel. And then the Martinet Brew. This is the middle wine in the lineup from Clos Martinet, and a fabulous wine. A blend of Grenache, Syrah, and Carignan, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot. Had this lovely kind of soy and black spice, slatey kind of minerality that you get from the Priorat. Fresh herbs and floral notes. Really complex and big on the palate, but wonderful freshness there. And hey, dinner last night, fish and chips at the pier, watching Dad play his little gig he had going on there. Brought back memories of, Holiday Inn lounge days when I was a child. But just a couple Heinekens there, and then, I had to go home and wash down most of a bottle of Jadot Santenay Clos de Malt after that. Beautiful wine. That wine's drinking excellent right now. Has got lovely light red cherry fruit. Looking forward to the Jadot barrel tasting of these 07s next week. Unfortunately, looks like that's pretty much sold out, folks. All right, well, that's all for this week. I'm your host, Andrew Lamposone for the Wine Watch, signing off, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.